Pop quiz, hotshot. There's a bomb on a bus. If it drops below 50, it blows up.
Speed almost blew up a civilian. Some lady thought that bus was like her commute bus, and they said she was 10 feet away from boarding the bus that was completely rigged with explosives.
I was looking at just the physics of the jump.
Pause. Are you mathematically trying to prove that bus jump is possible right now?
I was. It's not.
Okay. All right. Or do they have ET in the front of the basket of that bus? Welcome back, movie listers. My name is John, and I'm a filmmaker.
My name is Matt, and I'm a doctor. The movie list is a list of 100 movies that I have never seen before. Me and John, we've been friends since middle school, 7th grade even. And he made this list for me because he went into filmmaking, and I didn't see any movies because I became a doctor. So that's what the movie list is. And this week, we're getting into a really fun episode with the 1997 classic, Speed.
A young LAPD SWAT officer, Jack Traven, must outsmart a revenge-driven bomber after a city bus is rigged to explode if its speed, title, drops below 50 miles per hour.
You slow down and this bus will explode!
Trapped aboard with a group of strangers and an unskilled driver, Jack races to keep the bus moving while hunting the man pulling the strings before time and the road runs out. What a ride. Matt.
What a ride.
I'm so excited. I don't know about you, man. I have so much to say about this, and we're going to have to talk fast. No pun
I think I'm
intended.
going to make a bold claim about this one. I think this is the best action movie we've seen so far.
Whoa.
I think so.
Let me break out the list because that is a bold claim. Like,
Yeah. I have a good reason for it.
All right.
My reason is there's not a moment in this movie really where there's not action. It is from the word go.
Yep.
You are in the thick of it. It is extraordinarily fast paced. You wouldn't dream of being bored watching this movie at any point.
Sure.
I mean, it just crushed it. It is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's action
I would
start to
say
finish.
True Lies and Baby Driver would be the only ones that would really push that. But honestly, based on what you're saying, I think you might be right. It is nonstop action packed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, this is, it's hard to compare Keanu Reeves and Arnold. They're just so different. You know what I mean?
It's hard to compare Arnold with anything. Not anyone.
You would think a spy should be somewhat inconspicuous.
Not him.
Not him. Doesn't need to be. He's doing a different
thank
strategy.
God he didn't get on the bus. They're like, we cannot get over 50 with him on. He's dragging the whole down.
Adding a full metric ton to the bus. Yeah. I mean, if you kind of zoom out though, the movie, it really would make more sense if they just gave the guy the money.
Okay.
Right? I think that had to be the better option. Because what happened when they didn't give him the money is at least 2 people died. 2 buses and a plane exploded. A subway got derailed. And there's an enormous amount of damage across the city from the bus smashing into stuff. Also, you've got, I don't know, 150 people that are like clearing the highway. You've got snipers and helicopters. Like, this must have cost an absolute fortune to stop this guy.
Definitely more than $3.7 million.
And then they give him the $3.7 million at the end and just use ink packs to blow it all up.
My money!
So they ruined it. They ruined it anyway.
They gave him an actual $3.7 million.
Right.
And then ruined it.
Of Mark Bills. They
just, it didn't make any sense.
Why did
He didn't even have any hostages at the
Why
end.
didn't they do that to start? Why were they on the bus that long?
It doesn't add up. But I'm glad they didn't give him the money. It's just such a
Yeah.
great movie.
Right.
Like, it's just such good action.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, just strategically, I think they
I
really
agree.
fumbled the ball here.
Let's see. $3.7 million in 1997. What is that adjusted for inflation? That is, I don't know. Google is very confused by that. It says Hispanic dollars is 3.7 million. So it would be $7.7 million today.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's like fixing a curb in LA. You got to get the whole DOT out there. Like, yeah, for sure. It's a union job.
I mean, 7.7 million, just
Right.
give it to him. He's gonna
Right.
blow up like
Right.
15 people on that bus. Just give him the money.
Right. And honestly, he's reasonable. Like,
He's very reasonable.
He went first with $3 million, which is a very reasonable amount, right? When you're talking
Right.
people's lives, a whole elevator of the executives. Next time, 3.7 million.
Right. And
So-
I'm very curious why he bumped it up. Was that because he
7. What was the
realized he
7?
did his math wrong the first time, and to retire the way he wanted to, he needed that 700,000?
No,
Or is that a penalty?
yeah. I think this was right around the .com bubble, and he was like, "I'm going to need another $700,000." He talked to his fiduciary, and his fiduciary's like, "You said 3.7 million, right? You got to need 3.7 million to get through to your retirement age."
That or he spent the 700,000 on C4 to blow up 2 buses.
It's a good point. So it was just it was cost.
Just cost of doing business.
Cost of goods sold. Cost of good. He didn't do his P&L right, so
there you go.
There we go. He fixed his mistake. Solid. Great speed. Jan de Bont was the director. They actually they more or less pitched this as like Die Hard on a bus. And went to the Die Hard director, and he ended up passing. It was just too similar. Went to a couple other guys like that. Actually, the Die Hard director was the one that recommended Jan de Bont, who was the director of photography on the Die Hard movies. And so that's actually like some of the elevator stuff, because obviously he's well versed in making elevator action movies. So the whole first third of the movie, is an elevator. Then you get the bus, the train. It's really like a transportation-based action movie. And so I appreciate that about it. Written by Graham Yost, who really kind of laid out the story. Fun fact, like 2 weeks before production started, they brought in Joss Whedon to come, and Joss Whedon rewrote like 98% of the dialogue. So that like the fun punchiness, like pop quiz and, all the fun lines in it, that's very much Joss Whedon. You can hear it in there. And that made that perfect, like fun action, sarcasm, wittiness. I think that's a lot of the fun of the movie that comes through.
Absolutely.
And afterwards, they're screening it with audiences. Fox said they knew they had a winner when they were screening it with audiences, and people were going to the bathroom. And then when they were coming back from the bathroom, they were walking up the stairs backwards so that they wouldn't like miss a second of it. That's how like, to your point, so action packed. They literally didn't want to miss a second.
Incredible.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's just how you feel watching this movie.
Yep.
Like, it's just an adrenaline rush, start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It is an
Also,
adrenaline rush.
The score in this movie is actually quite incredible.
Yeah.
Like that whole intro sequence where you're like dropping down the levels, and I don't know if it's a parking garage or whatever.
Right.
It's just it's like even watching the opening credits, you're like,
yeah.
Oh
and
my
the Windows
like,
3D movie maker titles start coming in. They pull all the block 3D letters. That was really cool in the 90s.
I love that, man.
Yeah. I think honestly, one of the reasons it feels so adrenaline and so like action packed like that is because of the stunts in it. And a significant amount of the stunts are practical, not a lot of CGI. Keanu Reeves did approximately 90% of his own stunts.
Whoa.
And these stunts are insane, right? I'll read them out to you. He jumped from the moving Jaguar onto the bus on the freeway. He rode underneath a moving bus specifically modified to increase the ground clearance, hung beneath the bus while it was moving for close-up shots, climbed out of a speeding bus through the floor hatch while it was in motion, crawled across the moving train as it was going across the tracks, walked and fought on top of the train as it was going across the tracks. He performed the bus to SUV transition, hung from the exterior of a moving subway train, and he really just did all of his own, close quarters fight. Even when he's like banging on the glass and he breaks the glass, that was not supposed to happen. That's just John Wick, is what that is. That's
John Wick
Baba
before
Ghoul.
John Wick.
Is it Baba Ghoul? What do they call him? That sounds like, I think that's a food.
Oh,
Baba
hang on.
Whatever. Baba Ganoush.
No, Baba Ganoush is a food.
Dang it.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga, which is honestly,
Yes.
doesn't sound menacing.
Well.
But yeah, obviously, I don't think a movie like this could happen today. Insurance just wouldn't allow it. So many crazy things like this happened. Speed almost blew up a civilian. So at the very beginning, when the bus explosion scene, right? So the one bus pulls off. It does what's called a Texas switch. You know what a Texas switch is?
Nope.
So basically, a Texas switch is usually when an actor walks off screen and then the camera turns and a stunt person replaces the actor. And then, somebody comes and tackles them, right? It's a Texas switch. It was a Texas switch of a bus. So the first bus drove off. The second bus was being hauled by a wire. And that was the one with all the explosions. Some lady thought that bus was like her commute bus, got through security somehow, and they said she was 10 feet away from boarding the bus that was completely rigged with explosives. So Speed literally almost killed this lady.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? What a crazy way to go.
Actually, like the plot of Speed was just like the lamest version of it possible.
Where's the driver? When the movie opens, one of the first things you see is a police car just launching into the air, which really sets the tone for the movie, I think.
Yep.
You don't see that a lot. And then the car just, bounces and lands, and then you have your two main characters pop out with Harry and Jack. And they go inside. There's like 30 SWAT guys in there, whatever their crew is. And about 28 of those guys go for a coffee break. And then we've got Jack and Harry who actually do all the work, right? So they they go and find this guy in the elevator. They save the elevator from falling. They run up on the roof. They get this cable from a winch, run it down. No help from anybody else.
Right.
They hook up the elevator to this winch. The winch is made out of cardboard, so it doesn't last very long. Just completely crumbles, smashes through everything, breaks through all the vents and all this. The elevator barely holding on.
Yeah.
And then, they kind of figure it out. They figure out the guy's still in the building. He's on an elevator. They go find him. He's got a missing thumb and the thickest hand you've ever seen. Still swollen.
His good hand or his like hang loose hand?
No. So basically, the way they did the prosthetics is they had him fold his thumb over, so his hand is twice as thick as it should be. Right. I was trying to figure out, like, why could they have done this a better way? And I think if you just tuck the thumb into the side, it's probably going to look a little more natural.
No,
at least you have the normal.
Did his own
thickness.
stunts.
Anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the whole intro sequence was actually really awesome. I know I joke about it, but it's really riveting. And they catch the guy, they bring him down to the basement. He kind of gets the better of them in the elevator because he's got a shotgun. He's just blasting up through the roof. He sort of presses the advantage.
Yep.
And gets down to the parking deck where he's going to escape. He's got a dead man trigger in his hand.
He loves those.
He loves them. He uses them many times.
Yeah.
And here's where things get wild. So, so Jack decides, you know what? Shoot the hostage.
Shoot the hostage. Say goodbye, Harry.
That's right. Pop quiz, hotshot.
Doesn't make sense. What is he trying to accomplish here? So he
They're
shoots
shooting
his
him in
friend.
the leg. In the leg.
He shoots him. And the guy's like,
Right.
all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and escape anyway. So he
Right.
leaves, and then he lets go of his dead man trigger. So if you have a dead man trigger,
Right.
why run away from everybody and then let it go?
Yeah.
And then that explosion happened so quickly after he walked out the door, there is no chance it didn't kill him.
What? I'm not even sure what happened. I've been thinking about that because as a kid, I just didn't question it. And
Yeah.
now we're doing this podcast, and I'm like, what actually happened on the other side of that? Did he have other explode? Did he like get rid of it real quick and then like?
Maybe he rigged him to be directional somehow,
and-
if that's possible.
And then they're like, and the only person that died was the terrorist, right? Did they not check for a body? Where they're just
Right.
like, oh no, his body's gone.
It's vaporized.
No, so bad, not even any blood. He
No
went
bones.
went into a portal. He literally just that's one of those. It's one of those black hole bombs. They're black hole bombs.
Right. Ripped a hole in
BHB
space time,
BHBs.
pulled him through.
Hate it when that happens. By the way, one of my favorite little details in that whole sequence, when all the people get out of the elevator and then they're like running away because they're like, get out of here, there's a bomb. And it's like obviously ADR. Remember ADR? Like when they voice over stuff later on.
Oh, yeah.
Very weird ADR where the woman's running and she loses her shoe. And so very obviously a man went back in ADR and goes, oh, my shoe. It's so random. I think it's because the extra lost her shoe and they're like, oh, we have to ADR a line. So I don't know, but it's definitely a man doing like a
That's very funny.
Princess Peach voice. He's like, my shoe. It's pretty great.
One of my favorite little moments in this section of the movie is they go to the bar afterwards and they're all, drinking to celebrate. And I happen to notice a friend of ours tending bar. Do you know who it is?
I think I might.
It's Grandma from Napoleon Dynamite. Also, Mac's mom from It's
Mac's
Always
mom?
Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep.
I think it's funny that we're only a third of the way through the movie list, and she's already
Right.
come up twice.
Right.
I mean, in 30 movies, what are the chances?
Do you want me to blow your mind even more?
I think I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
The Matt movies, the Matt's Pick
Yes.
movies, the first one was Napoleon.
Yep.
What was the second one? Do you remember?
Second one after Napoleon?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Bill and Ted's.
Oh.
And of course, who was in Bill and Ted's?
Mac's mom?
Keanu Reeves.
Oh.
No, not Mac's mom. And to make things even crazier, there's another person in Speed that's also in Bill and Ted's. The bus driver is Station.
Oh, really?
No, they just have the same hair.
They totally do.
Yeah. No, but speaking of, Keanu Reeves actually did show up with the Bill and Ted's hair. So I mean, before this, he had done Point Break, and so he was still like long hair Keanu Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
And Jan de Bont forced him to like shave it down to what it is, and the studio totally freaked out because they were like, "Oh yeah, we want like pretty Keanu Reeves," and he was like, "No, he's a hardened, bomb squad like special tactics guy. He can't have like the long flowing hair."
Right.
But
Gets in your peripheral vision.
it actually works. It totally works. I think his hair is perfect.
It's great. It works perfect.
It really is. It took him into that kind of action. Point Break did that a little bit, but it took him really from like pretty boy to like full on action star.
Yeah, I think it was a great action role for Keanu. Like, looking back at Keanu's work, when I see, like, just from my view, right? So it's
Right.
like he did Bill and Ted's, and then he
Mhm.
did The Matrix. And I'm like,
Yep.
how did they have the vision for that?
This,
Like,
honestly,
this makes sense. Because
yeah.
seeing him in this and seeing him play
Mhm.
Neo,
Yep.
it makes sense.
100%.
But before I saw this movie, I didn't understand how anybody could see Keanu Reeves in that role.
Right.
'Cause I
Have
guess
you seen Point Break?
I have not seen Point Break.
Whew.
I have
Oh,
seen
man.
Babes in Toyland, which is even earlier Keanu. So, that's I'm thinking of him in Babes in Toyland and then Bill and
Oh,
Ted's,
boy.
and I'm like, how did anybody see Neo? But
I
then
haven't seen
this
Point
makes
Break,
sense.
but I have seen Babes in Toyland. It's just such a wild sentence. Um, guys, if you think we need to, if you think we need to add Point Break to the list, comment down below. Let us know. All right, so Howard calls him on the phone. We were alive in this time, but I always wondered, like, how they know the numbers. Do you remember that? Was that a logic? Because movies show that. I don't remember being alive to the point where people could triangulate which phone booth you were at. They always seem to ring at the right time, and they always know that it's for them too. So Howard calls him, gives him the rules basically, and says, "Go."
There's a bomb on a bus. Once the bus goes 50 miles an hour, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 50, it blows up.
He finds that bus, no problem. And the second most populated city in America seems to have no problem finding one bus, gets on the bus and, has the fun scene. But the bus actually was cool how they did that. So obviously we have one hero bus in the movie, but that was actually 10 buses over production, and each of them had kind of a specific role. We have the one just hero bus that we see from exterior shots driving by. We have an interior bus, so one that was sort of hollowed out that they did on the studio. And then they had a high-speed bus, one that was mechanically made to be able to go higher at higher speed, so it had to be kind of emptied out, couldn't have people in it and stuff. Obviously, they have the jump bus, the one we'll go into that later, but the one that's designed to jump in the air several hundred feet somehow. They have the bomb bus that we talked about that the lady almost died. We have the underbus bus that he's kind of crawling under. The camera bus, which was also called the Pope Mobile. So what they did was, in order to get the shots with Keanu and Sandra there at the steering, the camera is kind of back a little bit, which doesn't make sense because they would be like through the windshield. They actually pushed the windshield back like 6 feet and made like a glass bubble or like a plastic plexiglass bubble, kind of like, the Pope drives, like the big bubble that he's in. So they have
Yeah.
like a Pope Mobile version. They have like a precision stunt bus, which is like the one that was like on two wheels, that was like special hydraulics.
Freaking
Uh,
sick.
Backup hero bus, because apparently one of them broke down pretty regularly. And then they literally just have like a spare bus, like a utility bus. So yeah, they went through 10 buses for one bus movie.
Incredible.
Might be a bus record.
I mean, there is another bus in the movie that does explode. So,
Right.
I mean, it's not just a one bus movie.
That's true. There's two or three
Two bus
buses
movie.
at least.
So the
At
other one was
least.
just a bomb bus.
Bombus. Bombus class. I can't help it.
I understand.
Now you say something.
Nope.
All right.
So-
If you're not going to, I have much crazier things to say.
So I do like when Keanu's character Jack gets on the bus and he kind of looks down that little hatch in the floor and he sees the bomb.
Yeah.
He's kind of trying to describe it over the phone because obviously you can't just FaceTime somebody and be like, here's the bomb, which would have been so convenient. I kept thinking that the whole movie, like, oh my gosh, if they had this movie would never have worked with FaceTime because you could just show them the bomb. But
Right.
they look at the
Also,
bomb.
everybody
and
would be streaming. Everyone on the bus would be live streaming.
Exactly.
iShowSpeed actually would be on the speed bus.
Yeah, probably.
Like, yo, what's up? He would be doing like backflips in the back of the bus.
Right? I mean, if you could do backflips, wouldn't you?
At
I
all
would.
times. At all times.
But he's looking at the bomb and describing it to Harry over the phone. And he says there's this gold watch timer on there.
Yeah.
And he describes the watch as cheesy. Have you ever in your entire life described a watch as cheesy?
Yeah, I have
'Cause
not.
I haven't. I have
No.
not. It's
I
a
don't know
very
how much I
weird
describe watches, but
I don't, but I would never
yeah,
say that's a cheesy watch.
yeah, yeah.
I just thought that
I
was, interesting.
that whole segment, I love, Stevens, Alan Ruck, the great Alan Ruck, kills that line. I'm not sure where he's from exactly because I feel like his accent changes a few times, but he's like, "I'm the touristy yokel," and I feel I guess Utah. In my mind, I decide Utah. He just got a Utah vibe,
I
mainly
hear you.
because when Keanu's down there and he says "F me" and he goes, "Oh darn,"
Me. Oh darn.
he killed that line.
He
But
did.
yeah,
Yeah, his character is kind of the worst though. Like,
yeah,
except for that one part, like, where he's translating for him, you know,
right.
or go and he says, "Oh, darn." That obviously, that's a rad line, but, everything else about him just, like, sucks. The
I
guy
like it. I
just
like
sucks.
it. I like it when they pull into the airport at the end. He goes, "I've already seen the airport."
We're at the airport.
Yeah. So.
I already seen the airport.
Yeah. And when Sandra Bullock's character sits next to him, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's gum in my seat." Apparently, that was
Yeah.
improvised.
Right.
Yeah, which
Wait.
is fantastic, by the way.
Oh, jeez. You know, it took me 3 hours just to get here from the airport. I got so lost.
You know what? I got gum on my seat. Gum.
Not only improvised, but also that line specifically. My brother and I, shout out Nate. For some reason we used to say that line religiously all the time. We would just say, "I got gum on my seat." Gum. This is the way she like spits it out. She like throws it in his face. "I got gum on my seat." Gum.
Yeah.
It's so good. Sandra Bullock actually, you can see her in some of the scenes, like some of the wide shots. She's driving the bus. So there's a few things they did there that's really interesting. First off, she got a commercial license to be able to drive the bus. So she actually took her test, first time passed it. So Sandra Bullock is actually a licensed bus driver in LA County, just in case, things go south in her career. She has a backup.
Well, let me say, a DMV licensure expires after at most 2 years, which I have to do those physical exams,
Mm.
just so you know.
All
2-year
right,
limit
Sandy.
on those.
Sandy, if you need to get a renewal, hit up Matt.
I'm your guy.
Yeah. But for all the other shots when she's driving and obviously has to focus on acting, what they did was they basically routed the steering on top of the roof of the bus. So while like they're actually driving actively and she's just doing this, the steering was actually on the roof. So there's somebody on the roof that's controlling the ignition and the brake and the steering, which is insane. That feels like, I don't know, it feels like Mad Max. Like if you saw that in LA, like what's happening?
That is very. Can you imagine seeing that driving down the road? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, I guess in fairness though, it's LA in the 90s. There was all kinds of crazy stuff happening.
You also have in this section of the movie the "it's just cans" moment, which I've never seen a person more relieved than my wife watching that scene. She was like, "Oh no!" Just
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's like
You have
1800s
yeah.
baby carriage gets hit by a bus. Like,
I know. Who was
Who-
that lady?
who's the
Freaking
lady?
Nanny
Who-
McPhee.
Who has a carriage like that? And who puts cans in it?
I know, dude.
None of it made any sense. But
We gotta escort you. Oh God!
my wife was like, "Whoo!"
Yeah,
after that
dude.
scene was over. So
Yeah. By the way, where was that lady even going? Like, if you slow it down, like it's a red light for her. Like you see, like their stop sign, and she's just plowing through.
just inattentive.
Dude, if that bus didn't hit her baby carriage of cans, or like ancient baby carriage of cans, she would have died for sure. Like there was several other cars behind the bus and all the way across. I think the bus saves your life, honestly.
You know, it's not the first time that a baby carriage of cans has saved someone's life, and it won't be the last.
That's right.
Um,
Quote that.
and quote it, write it down, put it on your wall.
Hashtags can saves lives.
It's a hashtag 1800s baby carriage. And
Hashtag
then we
I share
have
speed cans.
you can't say that, John.
We're gonna get him.
So the bus has to then make a turn at 50. Is it 50 or 55?
50. It's got to be at
It's
50.
50?
Above 50.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So they have to make a turn at 50 miles an hour. It's like a 90-degree turn. And they're like, there's no way we're going to make this. So
Right.
everybody gets to one side of the bus. I was like,
yes,
that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
That
was the most like Hot Shots part. That was like Airplane. Like how the bus just like
yeah. Up on two wheels.
Was it Hot Shots? The train crash and Hot Shots where the train just goes and pokes around the rock.
I don't remember.
It's fantastic.
I think I've only seen Hot Shots Part 2.
That one's good too.
It's very good. I love that movie.
Yeah. Whichever one was making fun of Fugitive, which is on the list. So you'll see the original Fugitive.
Fun. I like that.
Sir, we have a serious problem.
What?
This freeway is finished.
But it's on the map. It's finished on the damn map.
I guess they fell behind.
You're fired. Everybody's f***ing fired.
So Jack gets the word that the bridge is out, or whatever the
highway's not done.
The highway's not done. Which, by the way, they really need to work on finishing things in LA. There's a lot of the track is out, the bridge is out, the highway's not done, the elevator's been broken down for years. What's going on with the Department of Transportation in LA? Yeah. I think that's all what was actually happening.
I just like that Jack actually says, "You're not gonna believe this. The track's not finished."
It's like, you're right. You're right. Honestly, though, at that point, you do believe it. Like, that's fully believable.
That's funny. Like, if you ever find yourself writing a movie and you're like, all right, road's not done. And then at the climax, train track's not done. How am I going to make this seem plausible?
Yeah. Right.
Just have them say, you're not going to believe this.
Right. It's like the Hollywood executive's like, hey, that last draft of the script's done, right? It's like, well, you're not going to believe this, but it's not done. And he's like, oh, it's genius. The track's not done. Exactly. That's what happened. Kind of non-ironically, Jan de Bont, that's kind of how he came up with the idea, is that he was stuck in traffic in LA and just saw one of those overpasses that they were doing construction on. And this was while they're in pre-production for this movie. And he came up with that idea. And this was like a few weeks before the filming started. It was not in the original script, and so the director just saw it stuck in traffic, was coming up with some ideas, which honestly makes me think, like, how many great movie ideas have come about just because LA has such horrendous traffic, and you have, like, you're stuck, and you're, like, just thinking of stuff, and how many epic scenes, La La Land, which you haven't seen yet, we're probably going to see that next month, epic traffic scene in La La Land, falling down, Chocolat, Predator, Waterworld. I'm just listening.
I know for a fact there's no traffic in Predator. Yeah, that's the one I've seen.
Get to the chopper. That's why there's no traffic. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty cool. Cool, just coming up with some ideas and stuck in traffic.
So I was looking at just the physics of the jump.
Yep.
And the math, you have to make a lot of assumptions. But I initially was working out the math for the on-ramp to be at a slope of about 8 degrees, because that's like your average for on-ramps. It's somewhere between 7 and like 8.3 degrees. So I just said, we'll call it 8. And if the bus was going the full maximum, 70 miles per hour,
Pause.
Yeah.
Are you mathematically trying to prove that bus jump is possible right now?
I was. It's not.
Okay, all right. Thank God. I was getting nervous. I was like, we're going to
No.
lose all credibility.
No, I was doing the math for a really steep ramp, basically, based off of. I was trying to be generous with my assumptions. I was like,
right.
it's going max speed.
Right.
It's got the max possible
Right.
slant for an on-ramp.
Yeah.
And
Like the ramp is basically just like here's the cut in the bridge and the ramp just goes like here, which is
so like
basically
if this was it
over.
and you have like an 8-degree slant and a 50,
right.
like if there was no wind resistance
Right.
and you were at max speed at the top of the ramp,
On the
you
surface
could
of the
make it.
moon. Right,
You could
got
make it.
Jupiter gravity.
But it turns out that slant is more like 1.5 degrees, which would mean that bus is going to make it about 17.2 feet by the time it hits level with the bridge on the other side. So
Wow.
a 50-foot gap, it makes it 17.2 feet before it goes down. So it lasted about 0.168 seconds
Oh my gosh.
before it's already too late.
Yeah, because I was getting nervous there for a second because I watched like the behind the scenes footage because I had the same thought. I was like, could it have gone that far? So I watched the behind the scenes footage where they have like a full hydraulic ramp. It barely moves, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it basically just immediately falls. It like scrapes
And,
the back of it, falling off the
in
ramp.
doing my research, I found they also did a Mythbusters on this.
Cool.
And the Mythbusters, they did like a scaled down version where they calculated for the adjusted weight of the bus, the adjusted speed of the bus, the adjusted distance, and they launch it with the right angles and everything. And it's great to look at. It's
Wow.
very funny because it's
That's
exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah. Hey, we're the second best mustaches in media.
Second best after us.
Yeah.
Great.
We did it.
Great.
Yeah, obviously they built a special bus for that jump. The ramp always cracks me up. That was not supposed to happen. I think he built it to have kind of like a little boost at the end. It just didn't give enough. So when the bus just is going off the ramp and then it's just like totally like
45-degree angle.
Yeah. It was like totally Blues Brothers like physics logic. It was like
Dude,
basically
I was thinking that the whole time.
I was thinking of two things: either Blues Brothers or do they have ET in the front of the basket of that bus? Like, dun, 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 dun. We're gonna edit that. I think you're gonna see that it works together better than it should. But yeah, it was a specialty bus that was hollowed out. It could get to 70 miles per hour. It had like powerful shock absorbers. The driver was actually 15 feet back, suspended in like a cage, so that if it hit hard in front, he wouldn't be ejected through the windshield. So basically, he was suspended in it so that as it slams, he's not like breaking his spine. So suspension mechanics and just awesome little hyper tank bus.
Right. That is one of the big critiques is if you did launch. I mean that specific model of bus weighs 24,000 pounds. So if that did make the jump and landed,
right? How fast is it going?
I mean, it's mangled on the other end of that jump. Like that suspension just went
right.
Yeah, it doesn't survive the landing.
Like
and then the people inside are like blended.
Right. It's like those animated videos or like the render videos of like buses going off huge ramps and then they land, like the survival rate videos. Have you seen those? And they're like 0% survival.
Yeah.
That's basically
exactly.
what this is.
Yeah, you're a gelatin by the end of that.
Yeah. But thankfully nobody died. The lady almost died from walking into the bus. They lost plenty of cameras though. So 2 cameras actually got wiped out from this stunt. I guess it overshot where they thought it was going to land, and it took out 2 cameras. Panavision actually gave Jan de Bont, the director, a plaque recognizing the number of cameras lost during the shoot. So I guess he broke a record there, 7, if you're curious. And those are not cheap cameras. Those Panavision film cameras back in the day, you're talking about probably a couple $100,000 a pop.
You see, he
So-
lost them?
Well, they were destroyed.
Oh, okay.
No, he didn't.
Where
Like,
did I
oopsie.
put that camera? I just had it.
That's great. But yeah, I mean, they were pretty reckless. Going back to like the stunts thing, talking about Keanu Reeves under the bus. The cameraman refused to do that shot. So when he like rides under the bus, right, and he's skirting there, he wouldn't do it. So the second unit director, a guy named Alexander Witt, himself did it. And so like when Keanu's down, the bus is actually driving. This is actually happening. I mean, it's getting pulled, but still, it's like this is a bus. These are wheels. Like something goes wrong, you're getting run over. And so the second unit director did it, and he survived, thus proving cameraman never dies.
Cameraman never dies.
Yep.
While Keanu's under that bus and he's like trying to get his bearings and get a grip on the thing so he doesn't, careen out of control and die.
Right.
He
right.
takes a screwdriver, he pierces the gas can.
Yeah.
Real bad luck. But he's able to survive because of it.
Yep.
Here is where my oh yeah right, or at least one of them for this episode comes in.
Okay.
He boards the bus again. He's unscathed. They look at the meters and readings on the dashboard, and
Yep.
you can see that gas tank is going very quickly. And the guy's like, how long do you need before we have to refuel the bus?
We do
He's
that
like,
one more time for our podcast listeners. That was the gas tank.
that's the auditory
Yes.
version of what I just visually depicted. But the gauge is dropping very rapidly.
Yes.
And he's like, how long before we got to get this fuel tank to resupply you while you're driving? He's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 minutes? And they've got about 40 seconds based on how fast that meter's moving.
Right.
Like, they're done
Yeah.
for at
Yeah.
this point in the movie. So that's my first oh yeah right
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
And then not an oh yeah right, but just a little query. They figure out that our villain has a camera inside the bus because he gives it away by calling her a wildcat. By calling,
Yeah.
is it Anna?
Yes.
By calling her a wildcat.
Annie.
Annie. And then they realize the camera's there, so then they're talking to the news crew and like, hey, get us access to that camera. And the news crew's like, all right, clickety-clack, here you go.
Yep.
How? How did they get access to that camera so easily?
Dude, those guys are high
They
tech.
immediately have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they record the loop and they play it back,
Right.
and they get away with their
Right.
escape. But
Right. It's
how?
It's funny you bring that up because that's actually my oh yeah right. Is the wildcat, right? So he has this very low res camera that's just sitting up there. He happens to notice this like barely faint from the visual eye logo of a wildcat, right? And he calls her a wildcat, that wildcat behind the wheel, right? Well, that's convenient, right? That the double entendre happens to be of a school that it kind of makes sense, right? Like it's convenient that she went to Arizona. What if she went to UC Santa Cruz, right? What if he was like, who's that banana slug behind the wheel over there? Like it wouldn't have had the same effect. She could have gone anywhere else. Who's that Wolverine behind the wheel there? There's plenty of them. Actually, most of them would not have made any sense. Who's that Lobo? Who's that Lobo behind the wheel of that bus? So it's convenient that Wildcat, even though it's one of the most, common names in sports. And then while we're on sports, by the way, it cuts to him and a lot. He is watching football. It's a weekday because they're going to work and it's like 9 a.m. So he's watching a college football game on 9 a.m. on a weekday. What game is this? And he's like invested in it. And it seems like a night game. So it's like, are you watching like European football? Like while you're simultaneously like he's like, I've planned for everything. And then it's like, yeah, come on, score a touchdown, European. Like, Was he have money on the game? Like, what the heck's going on with this guy? I think he just has severe ADD. Like, I think that's what's going on.
That's very funny. He just have like 19 different things playing on screens.
Right.
That does seem to fit.
I think he would have noticed that the camera was on loop if he would have stopped freaking watching like the Auburn and Notre Dame game at 9 a.m. What was it? Recorded? Was he watching a replay of a college football game and like cheering for it? That's the most maniacal thing he's done, honestly. That's what, like, this guy's a psychopath. He's cheering for a replay of a game.
Back in college, I used to watch the Little League World Series, which was very funny and amazing to see.
That's awesome.
And yeah, if you're a betting person, I would put money on Chinese Taipei. Not financial advice, but holy cow, those kids can slam. Like Chinese Taipei crushed.
Are you
everyone.
saying Taipei or like Type A?
No, Taipei. Not Type A.
Type A.
Anyways, I watched a lot of Little League World Series back in the day.
Chinese Type B garbage.
Don't
go
waste
Type
your
A.
money. Yeah. I did also notice that while all this is going on at the airport seems to still be running.
Like it's LA, dude.
They're ferrying, like the guy's like shuttling a plane at the end of like
they crash into the mail plane.
The airport.
No, the guy's like, I have got to get this mail out of here right now. It's like an active bomb threat, and he's like, rain or shine, FedEx.
Right, and according to the bomb squad, it's enough C4 to blow a hole in the world. Right? And they're not closing the airport for this.
I think most bombs would blow a hole in the world. Like if you're just saying like would make a kind of a hole, that's like most.
Right.
Like there's like high grade fireworks would do that. That's not that impressive to say.
We hate that point.
Oh yeah, right.
A hole in the world, please. And then after the bus crashes into the plane, everybody's safe. The plane and the bus both explode. His boss
what was
comes
in that
up.
plane, by the way? Like it explodes a lot from the middle. It's like
the C4 from the bus blew up into the plane. It must be
exactly like Jingle All the Way when he has the package with the bomb in it. He's like, sick world, sick people.
But Keanu's boss makes a point to him. Right, Jack's boss says to him, "I might even give you the rest of the day off," and then he doesn't.
That's a good point.
Jack works the rest of the day.
He immediately sends him back to work. And he brings her with him. Yeah, Annie's like, Annie, you're gonna hang out in the ambulance, and then she immediately leaves as well.
Right. Yeah, we're also gonna take you to our $3.7 million drop off to this specific terrorist who knows your face.
Right. And they didn't even let him get the kiss. Like right as he was going for the kiss, like 40 men were just standing there watching. Like, but
I mean, you can still kiss under those circumstances.
Not only that, but it's Keanu and Sandra Bullock, which I gotta say, that's one of those things. Like I usually don't care about these kind of things with like celebrities and stuff, but there are interviews with this is the first movie they did together, and supposedly they completely fell in love with each other, but the other one didn't know. So they both had huge crushes on the other one and didn't find out till years later that they had huge crushes on each other. It's like, that is one that like, you robbed the world, guys. You robbed the world of Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock.
You blew a hole in the world.
You blew a hole in my heart. You blew a hole in my heart, Keanu. Come on, dude. Stop being so cute and shy and be a man. Step up.
He says to John Wick.
I know, to Baba Ganoush. Listen, Baba Ganoush. You know who that is? That is
Baba Yaga.
That is Baba Ganoush.
Baba Ganoush is Indian food.
Turn it on.
What for? It hasn't moved.
Just do it.
Shit, it's moving. He's got the money.
Jack!
So we get to the point in the movie where they do the drop off of the 3.7 million actual dollars with purple ink packs. And here's an interesting thing. that I noticed. The trash guy lifts up the lid, drops the 3.7 million into the trash
The
can,
hole.
closes
Right.
the lid, doesn't realize there's a massive void in there. There's a hole this big cut into
Was
the
it?
concrete.
See, I always wondered that. Was it a hole or did he blow a little mini bomb under to get it? You know,
You're not
he's a
going to blow a
demolition
mini
guy.
bomb with 3.7 mil on top of it.
I mean, he's pretty
No
precise.
way. No, he already cut the hole. He had to have.
Yeah, I guess so.
And so doesn't notice the void that he drops 3.7 million into, doesn't
Right.
make mention of it. And then they're like, well, they're sitting around, snipers are all trained on the trash can waiting for him to come and try and pick it up. And then time goes by and they're like, maybe he's late. And then Jack says, this guy's never late. How does he know? He's got very limited exposure to this guy. And
And
the one time this guy says he's going to do something at a specific time, he doesn't. He's
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
All he
You
knows
know
is this
why, though,
guy's
right?
never on time.
It's
as far
because
as
he
can
doesn't have his cheesy watch. So he doesn't even know what time it is at all. What do you got to say about that point, Smarty? Doctor?
I just mean Keanu doesn't have enough information to know that this guy's always on time. All
Doesn't
he
matter.
knows is that he's never once been on time as far as they've been communicating.
Dennis Hopper
So-
says one of my favorite lines in the whole movie there, where he's like, "You're crazy." He's like, "No, poor people are crazy, Jack. I'm eccentric."
Poor people are crazy, Jack. I'm eccentric.
That's a great line. And also
It is a
so
great line.
true. Like literally the only difference between crazy and eccentric is just wealth.
It's money. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
point. And he
100%.
was crazy before, but now he's eccentric because he has a
Yeah.
3.7 million.
He's literally holding
Changed
it.
like that.
But then
Um,
when the purple goes off, then he's crazy again.
Right. Here's something I noticed at this point. When Jack walks up, it's Sandra Bullock holding the money bags,
Yes.
right? And then he's like, freeze. And I was like, how does he not realize that this is Sandra Bullock and not a 65-year-old man? Right. And then the 65-year-old man is in the next shot right next to Sandra Bullock, and they're the same exact size.
That's how.
Like identical heights
Right.
and
right.
frames. I'm like, wow.
Right. He didn't really have
I
the
get it.
bob, but other than that, then they're
Yeah,
spitting
no
image.
bob, but everything else is exactly the same. Like, okay,
which
that makes sense.
again brings me to my other point: missed romance between Dennis Hopper and Keanu Reeves. They robbed the world of that.
I heard that
romance.
they fell in love with each other, and they just
never said it. They never said it.
Then you have them going into the subway, and then Jack's kind of sneaking onto the subway. He's climbing along the top, and there's like that light that's about to hit him, and so he rolls. And here's my other right.
Okay.
Dennis Hopper's character hears him roll on this moving subway.
Yeah.
He doesn't even he doesn't jump. He rolls.
Right.
And he's like, huh? And starts shooting through the roof or whatever. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't buy that at
and
all.
it becomes totally insane too. He's like, Jack. See?
I'm going to get you, Jack. He just runs down the train screaming.
Oh,
This is one
man.
of my favorite. That's probably my favorite of his lines. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
funny to me that he's just
Right.
screaming running down the subway.
Right. Fun little cameo, which is not really technically a cameo, but the train driver is Richard Schiff, who was Toby in West Wing. I know you're not a West Wing guy, but he would go on to be Toby. I think that was years later. And then he was in Jurassic Park. He was Eddie. Remember, he was the one that the husband and wife T-Rex decided to split. They did the whole reverse Lady and the Tramp with Richard Schiff in Jurassic Park: The Lost World. But yeah, great Richard Schiff. And I guess this was before he was famous, which is cool because he looks pretty old there. So you guys listening who are also old like us, there's still a chance for you.
Right.
Just look at Richard Schiff as the train driver in Speed.
Then, after this, you have one of the most talked about lines in the whole movie, which is where Dennis Hopper's character, what's his name? What's Dennis Hopper's character's name?
Howard.
Howard. So Howard and Jack, they're up on the subway roof. And he says some snippy thing, you're a loser or some stuff. And then he says, yeah, but I'm taller. Like, this is just a needless insult, right?
Well, I'm taller.
It's completely unnecessary.
Well, he said that after he got decapitated. That's why. He's
Oh.
taller than him now because he doesn't have a head anymore.
Well, he was
You thought
taller
just-
before.
you thought he was just insulting his height?
Yes. You know, I guess it does make more sense after
like
the
that
head
would
gets
be the
knocked
thing.
off.
Like he's like, yeah, but I got all my fingers, so suck it,
Sucker. Yeah.
Uh,
Here's a fun fact. Amputees report that they received the same level of happiness approximately 6 months after their amputation as they had before. So they're back to their baseline after 6 months. So if
interesting.
you're a recent amputee, hang in there. Keep your chin up.
What about decaputees?
They rarely are as happy as they were before.
Got it.
Almost never.
Yeah. Okay.
Decaputatees. Then he gets back on the train. Real careless.
Why did you say that? What was the amputee thing?
I don't know.
Who
Cut it out
was
if you want to.
amputated? Wait, what was it for?
He
Why
was
did
an
you say it?
amputee. He was missing his
Does
thumb.
that count? A finger counts as an amputee?
Any piece of you that gets cut off.
Any piece?
Yeah.
Let's
So that's
define
right.
it here. So if I trim my fingernails, am I an amputee?
No,
All right, let's
those
get
aren't living
specific,
tissue.
Doctor.
All right,
Dr.
needs to be
Matt.
living tissue.
All right, if I chew on my am I a cannibal if I chew on my fingernails? Every
Yes.
time I go for a haircut, which
Just
doesn't
a
happen a
freak.
lot, am I decapitating my hair? Dennis Hopper wasn't cast until 2 weeks into production, which is pretty crazy. This role, I guess nobody wanted it, which is weird. I don't know why nobody would want it because it's basically like it's the Alan Rickman Die Hard role, which I mean, like,
Oh yeah,
Alan Rickman
he's like the
rules.
Joker. He's like
yeah,
the Joker.
basically. I don't know why nobody would want it, but dude, the people that they went out to. So listen to this. Here's the people who almost took it and turned it down. Gary Oldman, that would have ruled. Jeff Bridges was thought either going to be Jack or at one point was going to be Howard. Christopher Walken was almost Howard in this movie. How freaking cool would that have been?
Bob Quiz, hot shot. I couldn't help but notice there's a
Look at
bomb on your bus.
You gave me the watch. It's a cheesy watch.
3 long years. And I kept this uncomfortable hunk of metal. Anyway, I digress.
Interactive TV, Jack, the wave of the future. But Dennis Hopper was the right call. He was the right call.
Then, yeah, once they get back on the subway, they're real careless about how they manage that bomb vest that she's got on.
Yeah.
He just pulls the cord out. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. And then here's something I noticed that I think probably no one else has noticed. There is, in the conductor's chamber thing on the subway, a little
Richard
blinking red light.
Mm-hmm.
That thing looks identical to the tracking device placed on the fat Scottish guy in Austin Powers. Identical.
You're right. I don't think anyone has or is going to notice that.
Look it up. It's the exact same thing.
Wait, you're talking about Fat Bastard in Austin Powers?
Yes.
And Austin Powers 2.
Yes.
I've spent a lot of money in therapy trying to get that one out of my mind. I don't know why you're bringing that up right
The
now.
little
and
blinking red
frankly,
probe.
it's quite triggering for me. That movie is so bad. Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's the same prop. Whatever that thing is, it's out there. Twice, at least.
Well, you guys heard it here for the first time ever and the last time ever. That no one else is going to ever make that connection ever again. So there we go.
You're welcome.
Well, we already did our rights. So just before we get to our ratings, just cleaning up some housekeeping here. This movie does pass the Bechdel test because you have Annie, and then you have the lady who I'm pretty sure is named because she says her name, even though she ends up dying later, and they talk about traffic.
I just couldn't handle the freeways anymore. I got so tense. This way I can just relax all the way to work.
Yeah, well, I love my car.
Which is not about a male character. So 2 named female characters who seemingly have jobs, and she dies later. So shout out the patriarchy. And then another fun one we like doing is we like doing the international name, and I've been waiting for this the whole time, right? Because the actual names themselves aren't that fun, right? It's like, oh, okay, it's like maximum speed, it's like adrenaline rush, right? But this is the actual just translation, the direct translation in Norway. And I'm just going to show you the poster here. I think that sells it the most. This is not a joke, by the way. This is literally the Norwegian version of Speed.
I was reading the stuff in white.
Fart. It's just, for you guys listening, it's just fart. And then you get Keanu Reeves looking and an exploding bus in the background. Same exact poster, same font, everything. Fart.
Fantastic.
That was a good find.
There's a Simpsons episode where Homer loops a video and somebody asks him how he came up with the idea. He says he got it from a movie, but he can't remember the name.
Right.
But he thinks it's called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down. So shout out Simpsons crowd.
Shout out Simpsons.
Bus That Couldn't Slow Down. If I had one wish with this movie that I could change one thing, I would have it end with the guy with a pistol on the bus getting arrested.
Wait, that guy, what if that guy was in on it? Actually the original script, Harry was working with the bomber.
Really?
Yeah.
Less emotional that way though.
It is also like that scene when Harry goes in and he sees the blinking light and he knows he's dead. That's such a cool scene.
Heartbreaking
in general. Yeah, I saw an interview actually with Jeff Daniels talking about that, and he was saying like, how does he act that? How does he convey it? And so the scene in Jaws when the shark comes up, and Roy Schreider said that all he was thinking was start with your cheeks high and then have your cheeks drop, and that's all you need. That's all you need to convey just the terror of what he was saying, and that's what Jeff Daniels pulled from, which I think is pretty cool.
Very cool. I love that kind of thing.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, we made it through. We got off the bus, and we're alive, except for Station got shot in the shoulder. So shout out Station. Well, every week we go through and we rate these movies based on story, which is plot, dialogue, character, rewatchability, fun, emotional impact. Matt gives a science realism score. I give a filmmaking craft. Matt, why don't you kick us off? What you got on story?
All right. So for story on this one, I gave it a 4. Rewatchability, I give this one a 9, which I think is one of my highest rewatchability.
Nice.
For fun, I also gave it a 9. I just had a freaking blast watching this movie. Emotional impact, I give it a 4, just because of the Harry thing and then the sort of the connection between Jack and Annie. I think both of those relationships that they build throughout the movie play really well.
Yep.
And then for science realism, I gave it a 3 because physics takes a lot of those points out.
I hate it when that happens.
So
because physics.
And if you've made it this far in the movie, if you like what we're doing, if you want to support us, join our Patreon, give us some support. And you do get access to our Discord, which I think is probably my favorite part of the whole thing that we're offering, because you get to talk to us directly, and we've been having a blast getting to know the people who watch our content. So
yeah, well, not only get to hang out with us, you get to be part of selecting, I think, in 5 more episodes. We're going to have another Turtle Club movie. I know there's been some interesting ones already thrown out. And so, so our A-list members are going to be able to elect them, and then all the Turtle Club members come together and fight it out on what crazy movie we're going to be watching. So hopefully it's not another torture flick. But if it holds up like Bone Tomahawk, I'm okay with it. Story, I got a 3 on this one. The dialogue is great. Pretty much everything else doesn't make sense. It doesn't mean I don't love it, but it doesn't make sense. Like, why? That's the least convenient way to try to hold somebody hostage. Speaking of which, of all cities in the world to have a bus need to keep going 50 miles an hour, Los Angeles is the worst city in the world to keep doing that. So his whole logic of the bus needs to stay above 50 or else I need my money. That logic never made sense. So for somebody who's like, I'm a genius, but take something completely out of my control, but give me money, doesn't make sense.
The probability of that bus blowing up was extremely high.
Extremely high. And he has no leverage. Nothing. He has no leverage. Didn't make sense. So story is a 3. Rewatchability is a 9. Same as you. Extremely rewatchable. Fun is an 8. Super, super fun. Emotional impact, I have at a 2. So, a little bit of sadness with when Harry dies, some stuff there, but it's just not a super emotional movie. Filmmaking craft I have as a 6. Again, just the overall weaknesses of the story, cut down on that, but from the practical effects standpoint, the stunt standpoint, the music, it's a 6. So let's see, for me, I have, 12, 20, 22, 28. So, solid 2.5. Right down the middle for me. What you got?
29.
29. All right. So 28 and 29. Matt and I are both at 2.5 turtles, which is how we're going to be rating things now. I just decided from now on. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you stayed on the bus with us and didn't try like that lady and just abandon everybody and just tried to really go for it. So you made it through, though. You made it off the bus, and we're going to keep chugging along. And I'm excited to see what's next. Matt, I believe next week is your choice, is it not?
I believe you're right. And
do you want to I don't actually know what you've picked. Do you want to announce it now, or you want to hold us all in
I'd
suspense?
be delighted.
Okay, what you go with?
One of my favorite movies of all time. I think maybe top 5 funniest movies I know of.
Okay.
The Three Amigos.
Yes. I was hoping you were going to go with this. All right. Three Amigos.
Yes. The Three Amigos.
My little buttercup has the sweetest
smile.
We just did it. All right, guys. So we got Three Amigos coming up next week, guys. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, comment. We love you. Tell all your friends about us. And we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, if you were going to ask for ransom for this whole heist that this guy pulled off, would you ask for 3.7 million? What would be your number if you were to ask for ransom for blowing up a bus?
Nice.
It's an intense question this week. Just give us a number. Just give us a number. All right,
guys. He's Matt. I'm John. You have been watching Speed or in Norway, Fart. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.